And that's what we're diving into today. So we've got this really cool material about Emma.
Oh, yeah, Emma.
Yeah, she's this 25-year-old digital illustrator, A&D, and muralist.
Wow, both.
Yeah, she's super talented. And she's actually figured out how to blend her passion with her profession.
No way.
Yeah. And we're going to break down her journey and pull out those strategies, those golden nuggets that you can actually use.
Ooh, I like that golden nuggets.
Right. So you can apply them in your own life, whether you're thinking about a career shift or just curious about turning your hobby into something more.
Nice.
So, okay, from what I'm seeing here, Emma's been into art since she was a kid, literally doodling in the margins of her notebooks.
Ah, yeah, the classic sign.
Totally.
Mm.
But she also felt that pressure to choose a more traditional path, something stable.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Big time.
Yeah.
It's like society telling you, follow your dreams, but also make sure you have a reliable income.
Right. It's a tough balance.
So Emma ended up going the business route in college.
Interesting. So, the opposite of an art career.
Right. But here's the thing. She didn't completely abandon her art. She treated it like a side hustle.
Smart move.
Yeah, she kept building her skills and her portfolio while getting that business degree.
Like a secret weapon.
Totally. It's like she was diversifying her investments, but T in herself.
I love that analogy.
Right. And I bet that business knowledge came in handy later on when she had to manage her art career.
For sure. Understanding marketing and finances is crucial for any freelancer.
You're telling me. Okay, so while she was in college, Emma started using social media to share her work consistently.
Smart move. Social media can be a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. And she wasn't just posting randomly. She was really strategic about it. And it ended up being a turning point for her.
Interesting. How so?
Suddenly, she's attracting commissions, connecting with other artists. It was like validation that she could actually make this art thing work.
That's so cool. It's like social media gave her that extra boost of confidence.
Totally. But let's be real. Juggling college, a side hustle, A&D, a social life, can't be easy.
No kidding. I mean, how did she even manage her time? Did she have some secret time management hack?
Maybe? From what I'm reading here, it sounds like a lot of it came down to prioritizing and creating systems.
Ah, the classic organization game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Emma dedicated her weekends to art no matter what.
Wow, serious dedication.
Oh, yeah. And she was a big fan of planners and digital tools to keep track of everything, deadlines, commitments, the whole shebang.
So, being super organized was key.
Oh, for sure. But what about those days when everything felt overwhelming? Because let's face it, we all have those days.
Ugh, yeah, the burnout struggle is real.
So true. So what did Emma do on those days?
Well, it sounds like she was a big believer in self-compassion.
Self-compassion. I like that.
Yeah, she learned to accept that she couldn't do it all perfectly every single day.
That's a good reminder for all of us.
Right. Some days art had to take a backseat to schoolwork or other responsibilities, and that's okay.
Totally. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm, not burning yourself out in the process.
Exactly. And that's something I'm always working on, too.
That's here. It's a constant journey.
For real. Speaking of journeys, Emma eventually graduated and landed a marketing job.
Okay, wait. So she gets a business degree, then goes into marketing.
Yeah. It might seem like she's straying from her art dream. That's not what happened at all.
So she was using her marketing skills to help other businesses while secretly building her art empire on the side.
You got it. She continued taking on commissions, building her client base, all while working that 9-to-5.
Wow, she was basically running two businesses at the same time.
Pretty much. And that's where her business background really paid off.
Right. She knew how to manage her finances, market her services, treat her art like a legit enterprise.
Exactly. It's about shifting from a hobbyist mentality to a professional one.
Love that.
Yeah.
And I bet that shift in mindset played a huge role in her eventual leap of faith, which we'll talk about in the next part of our deep dive.
Ooh, can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah. Because within a year, she was able to replace her full-time income with her art earnings.
What? Get out of here.
I know, right? Talk about a power move.
Seriously impressive.
Right. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of that transition, I think it's important to emphasize that there were a lot of calculated risks and strategic decisions involved.
Totally. This wasn't just luck. She was intentional about every step.
Exactly. And I'm sure there were challenges and setbacks along the way because, let's be real, success is rarely a straight line.
You said it. It's about navigating those ups and downs, learning from the bumps in the road, and finding a way to integrate your passions into your life in a way that feels authentic and sustainable.
That's the dream right there.
For sure. And that's what we'll explore further in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Okay, so last time we were talking about how Emma was totally killing it.
Yeah, like rocking that full-time marketing job while building her art business.
Talk about a masterclass in time management.
Seriously, though. And she did it all without burning out, which, let's be honest, can be super tough.
Oh yeah, burnout is a constant battle.
Ugh, tell me about it. So how did she do it? What was her secret?
Well, it sounds like she was super intentional about self-care.
Self-care. Okay, I'm listening.
Like, it wasn't just an afterthought, it was built into her routine.
Interesting. So what did that look like? Like, give us the specifics.
Okay, so for one, she made sure to totally disconnect from work by a certain time each evening.
Like no emails, no social media, just pure relaxation time.
Exactly. Time for herself and her creative pursuits.
Okay. I love that creating boundaries is so important.
It's crucial. And Emma recognized that early on, like, to be productive and creative, she needed to protect her energy.
Makes sense. You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Exactly. And it wasn't just about disconnecting from work. She also had specific practices for recharging.
Well, like what? Spill the tea.
She was all about her morning routine journaling and going for walks in nature.
Ooh, those are good ones.
Right. They helped her clear her head, get grounded, and start the day with intention.
I've been trying to be better about my morning routine too. Even just like 15 minutes of meditation can make a huge difference.
It's crazy how much those small, consistent actions can impact your whole day.
Right. Speaking of small actions, let's talk about how Emma built her art business on the side.
Ah, yes, the side hustle queen.
She didn't just magically land high-paying clients overnight, did she?
Nope, it was a gradual process, taking on smaller projects, building her portfolio, networking.
Networking, okay, so like getting out there and meeting people.
Exactly. And this is where her social media savvy really shined.
Ah, yes, back to the gram.
She wasn't just posting pretty pictures, she was creating engaging content showing her personality and process.
So it was like she was inviting people into her creative world.
Exactly. And she made sure to interact with people in the comments, sharing tips and resources.
Building that community, right?
Yep. It's not just about self-promotion, it's about adding value.
And building relationships, which ultimately leads to more opportunities.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real. Managing all of this takes serious financial skills.
Right. Like, how did she handle the money side of things?
Well, from the beginning, she treated her art like a business, not just a hobby.
So, like, tracking expenses, setting financial goals, that kind of thing.
All of that. She even reinvested some of her earnings back into her business.
She was like a mini CEO.
Basically. And it's not just about being good with numbers, it's about knowing your worth.
Right. You got to charge what you're worth.
Absolutely. And that confidence attracted the right clients.
It's about shifting your mindset from starving artist to thriving entrepreneur.
Yes. And that mindset shift is so important when it comes to making that leap of faith.
The leap of faith meaning quitting her job to pursue art full-time.
Exactly. Which is what she did after just a year of working in marketing.
Wait, what? A year?
Yep. Her side hustle income was actually bigger than her 9-to-5 salary.
That's insane. But I'm guessing this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision.
Oh no, she had saved up a financial cushion, built a solid client base, and felt confident she could make it work.
Okay, so she was prepared, but I bet there were still some fears, right?
Oh, for sure. Leaving the security of a steady paycheck is a big deal.
So how did she deal with those fears? Any coping mechanisms?
She leaned on her support system, family, friends, other artists who had done the same thing.
The power of community, right?
It's everything. And it wasn't just emotional support, it was practical advice too.
Like helping her with contracts and taxes and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. And speaking of support, Emma also invested in coaching and mentorship.
Oh yeah, mentors can be game changers.
For real. It's like having a guide on the side, someone who's been there and done that.
Okay, but before we move on, I gotta ask, what are your thoughts on this whole side hustle empire thing?
It's definitely not easy, but I think it's becoming more and more common these days.
Right, like the traditional career path is kind of changing.
It's evolving. People want more flexibility, and they're finding ways to make it happen.
It's about creating options, diversifying your skill set, which is never a bad thing.
Exactly. And the cool thing about the side hustle approach is that you can test the waters before diving in head first.
Love that analogy. So Emma basically dipped her toes in, built a foundation before taking that big leap.
You got it. And when she finally did make the transition, she was ready for it.
She had the skills, the confidence, and the support system to thrive.
And as we'll see in the final part of our deep dive, the journey didn't stop there.
Ooh, can't wait to hear what happened next. Stay tuned, folks. we're about to dive into the final chapter. Okay, so we left off with Emma taking that leap of faith, quitting her job to become a full-time artist.
Huge moment, right? But I'm guessing it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows from there.
Right, like what happened after the honeymoon phase wore off? What challenges popped up?
Well, one of the big ones was the whole inconsistent income thing. Even with clients booked, there were still those slower months.
Yeah, freelancing can be a bit of a roller coaster financially.
Totally. So she had to get creative.
Creative, okay, how so?
Well, remember how she was super smart with money? That really helped. She had built up an emergency fund just in case.
So she had a safety net for those lean times. Smart move.
Right. But she also diversified her income streams.
Okay, spill the beans. What did she do?
Besides commissions, she started teaching online workshops, selling prints and merchandise, and even licensing her artwork.
Wow, so many different avenues.
Right. It wasn't just about the money, though.
Oh, what else?
It helped her reach a wider audience, learn new skills, and tap into different creative outlets.
So it was like turning a potential problem into a growth opportunity.
Exactly. But let's not forget the emotional side of things. Going from a structured job to running your own show can be tough.
Oh yeah, for sure. Did she struggle with that?
She did. One thing she found hard was the isolation of working from home. She missed having coworkers.
That makes sense. I feel that sometimes too. So what did she do about it?
She got proactive about building a community, joined online groups, attended events, started co-working with other creatives.
So she found her people.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about making friends, it was about accountability and inspiration too.
Right. Being around other driven people can really push you forward.
Totally. Okay, but here's another thing. Emma was big on continuous learning.
Makes sense. You got to keep those skills sharp, right?
Especially in the art world, things change so fast. So she took online courses, attended conferences, read tons of books.
Wow, she was like a learning machine.
Pretty much. She treated her career as an ongoing education.
Which is so important these days.
Yeah.
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Okay, so as we wrap up Emma's story, I gotta ask, what does success look like to her? Is it all about money?
Yeah, is it just about the Benjamins?
For Emma, it's about more than that. It's about creative fulfillment, freedom, making a difference.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and your purpose align.
Exactly, and her journey shows that it's totally possible. It takes work and resilience, but the rewards are worth it.
I think what's so inspiring is that it's not just about being a successful artist. It's about being a successful human.
Right. It's about those life skills that apply no matter what you do. Time management, self-care, community building.
Totally. It's about taking charge of your life and creating something that lights you up.
And who knows, maybe your journey will inspire others too.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you with this. What's one small step you can take this week to move closer to your own vision of success? Doesn't have to be huge, just something to get the ball rolling.
Remember, every journey starts with a single step.
That's it for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep chasing those dreams.